Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, George.
How's everyone? I hope everybody's good. It's gonna be a beautiful day today.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna go right to call to order. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Sylvia. We're gonna do our Pledge of Allegiance, please. You can stand if you like, or just put your hand over your heart. I will put my hand over my heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. How come I didn't hear anybody? I felt
mute.
I muted myself so it wouldn't echo.
Oh. All right.
Says right
Good
there,
morning, all.
mute.
Morning, Don.
Morning.
Hello. How are you?
All's good here. How about you guys? Everyone doing well?
Yeah.
Morning, Don.
Excited to hear we're going to be in person soon.
Our next meeting.
Yahoo!
Okay, so
Nice.
here we go. Here's some housekeeping notes. All right, we're going to keep a 1-hour meeting. It'll be from 9 to 10. If you have any questions or comments, please use the chat box, the chat dialog box on the right-hand side, or raise the raise your hand feature. Please mute yourself if you're not speaking, and submit listings for review by 12 p.m. the day before the meeting on SRCAR.org. Thank you very much. Anybody new? Is there anybody new out there? If there are, raise your hands, and everybody welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, the affiliate spotlight. SRCAR Hemet Event Committee. That's me clapping, so in case you couldn't hear me. Anyway, so that's awesome, huh? Are they on here?
I am.
Good.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
All right, so there I am. Hi. So thank you everyone for the golf tournament last week. It was pretty awesome. Well, 2 weeks ago now, gosh, time has flown. But anyway, we in 2020 at the same location, we raised $11,540. Our approximate, Wendy's still working on the final figures and calculating everything, but our approximate for this first round of 2021, because we're going to have 2 golf tournaments, our first proceeds are about $14,500. So about $3,000 more raised this go round than last year. Our next tournament is going to be back. We're bringing it back to Hemet, tentatively at Saboba. And that will be November 5th. So mark your calendars. Any vendors, any affiliates, sponsors, anything like that, we are putting together an interest list because we're still working on pricing. Saboba will be very different than the club at Rancho where we have been for the last 2 tournaments. So we're working on pricing for food and everything, but we're hoping to have it be back to what it was 2 years ago in 2019 when we had it there before COVID. So thank you everyone for that. As far as events go, that's it for now. And yeah, $14,500 thereabout to scholarships. So we're very excited. Thank you for everyone that participated. And if you didn't get an opportunity to be part of it, reach out to me or Gus and make sure that you are part of it for November, because it's going to be just as amazing.
That's an awesome amount. I think that's the most amount of money that we've raised for golf in a number of years.
Yeah. So Wendy sent me the last 4. So this year was 14.5. Last year 11.5. 2019, which was at Saboba, 7,000, and 2018 was 8,000. So, I mean, we have raised big numbers. Obviously, part of the cost of where we're golfing and the food has gone down. So, but also we've gotten more vendors and more sponsorship opportunities. So again, if you're on here and you didn't get to be part of it, maybe like Ed, I know you're busy and have no bookings, but until June or July, but something like our November golf tournament would be a good opportunity for a moving company. So anyway, talk to myself, Wendy, or Gus, and we're getting an interest list together on that. So it's going to be sold out as well. Golf tournament was sold out a few weeks even before the tournament. So it'll happen again.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yep. Everyone have a great week.
You too. Did you know, I love did you knows. Did you know that there was 323 closed transactions from May 24th to May 30th, 2021? Isn't that great? Hold on, because there's something else. There we go. Last year, right? So here, so Sylvia was nice enough to send me this email to make it look like it was my homework, but it wasn't. Thanks, Sylvia. So 323 closed transaction for the week of May 24th through May 30th, compared to 209 closed transaction for the same period last year. That's fantastic. Congratulations. NAR and CAR updates with SRCAR Directors.
Do I go first?
Sure.
Okay. We've been on CAR and NAR Zoom meetings for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've seen Terry just about every day for the last 2 months. So I'm just going to cover a few of the highlights, leave the rest to Terry for it. And let's start off with the CAR updates from land use and environmental. And that motion was also amended in the legislative committee that CAR adopt an opposed position along with the coalition on the electrification mandate for new construction based on pending regulations from the California Energy Commission. From the legislative committee, this one was the CAR adopt a not real estate related position on yet an unnumbered referendum that will appear on the November 2022 ballot. It's entitled a referendum challenging the 2020 law prohibiting resale of certain flavored tobacco products. So that'll be on the ballot. It's not real estate related. That's the position they took. 2, that CAR, in conjunction with NAR, oppose the reporting of negative credit information on buyers' credit reports due to financials caused by COVID-19. Currently, this is protected by the CARES Act, but they wanted to continue after the act is no longer in effect. Then we went on to legislative Capitol visits in Zoom. We met with Senator Melissa Melendez to discuss the California Association of Realtors hot issues. There were 3 of them that was presented this year. 1 that California opposed, ACA 7, the Anti-Housing Constitution Amendment. The current law states that if there's a conflict between state and local in a housing conflict, that the state overrides. This ACA 7 will reverse that if there's a conflict between state and local, local will override. CAR is opposing that. They want it to stay in the state. We need housing. If individual cities or communities elect not to do housing, CAR is about housing. We need more housing. And 2, CAR support SB 6 upon approval of local government would deem a housing development project on allowable use of neighborhood lot, which is defined as a parcel within an office or retail commercial zone that is not adjacent to industrial use. A lot of people don't understand what that is. They think they can go in and take a retail facility that's not close to industrial use and make it into housing. That's not exactly true. You can, but you've got to go through the city or the local cities to get it done. It has to fit in their agenda. They have to approve it. You just can't pop the roof off of a retail establishment that's been there for years, build housing and put the roof back on. The cities are not going to allow that to happen. 3 was the racial wealth gap of home ownership and the supply crisis. The meeting was well done with Senator Melendez. She understands these issues. She's worked in the past to support housing and realtors. So it's a very good meeting. It's a very short meeting, but a very good meeting. A couple of the bills that CAR will be sponsored. AB 44, which is business dealings, use of prior surnames. Currently, a real estate licensee cannot transact business using their formal legal name, including their maiden name. CAR has sponsored legislation to ensure that the real estate licensee, who is a natural person, may use their formal surname to conduct business so long as both names are filed with the Department of Real Estate. Not surprising, this has turned out to be a non-controversial bill. This bill was amended into AB 830, which is passed out of the Assembly in May and now is pending the vote on the Assembly floor. It'll just pass through. SB 263 was the implicit bias training for real estate licensee. CAR is sponsoring legislation to require all real estate licensees to have implicit basic bias training as part of the renewal requirement and to make the current fair housing training more robust and relevant. The bill is passed off the Senate floor in April and is now pending hearing in the Assembly Business and Professional Committee. Next one I'll cover is SB 304. It's increasing the statutory limit of unlicensed handyman services. Right now, an unlicensed handyman can have a project in a home up to $500. The $500 includes labor and material, both. CAR has sponsored a bill to move that up to $1,000, but due to the strong opposition, this bill has turned into a 2-year bill. It'll come back next year. There are many other bills that CAR has sponsored or supported or opposed. We're going to be covering those in the legislative meeting Tuesday. That's June the 10th at 10 a.m. So if you want to go through all of them, that meeting. Then we go to the National Association of Realtors meetings, which are our Hill visits. Usually when we go to NAR, we visit our congressmen up there in their offices. This time it's all on Zoom, just like it was in California. We met with Congressman Ken Calvert last week. There were 4 issues that we have spoken with Ken Calvert about. It's the improved access to home ownership and increased housing inventory, the proposed tax increases, which includes discussions under the 1031 exchange, the mortgage interest deduction and death taxes were discussed, independent contractor states for real estate salesperson. We have the exemption here in California. We are an independent contractor, but some of the states throughout do not, and we don't want that to come back into California. And ensure fair housing for all. We will be meeting with Congressman Isa on June the 9th on Zoom again. And I'll leave it with our next CAR meeting is in San Diego. It will be live and it is in October. And we hope to see a lot of us there because San Diego is close to us. And I'll leave the rest to Terry.
Thank you, Walter.
Thanks, Walter and George. Everybody hear me okay? I've been having microphone issues on my computer for about 5 years now, so I guess it's time to get another computer. I don't know.
Yeah, you're good. We can hear you.
Great. And I apologize if you didn't want to. So anyway, as Walter kind of mentioned, just normally, and of course, we've been anything but normal for quite a while, but normally we would have gone to Sacramento for our CAR meetings and finished it up in 4 days and then come back home. And then we'd have been home for about a week. And then we'd have gone to Washington, D.C. and for 5 days. And then we would have met with Hill and everybody else up there and kind of put things together in that 5 days and then come home and we'd be done. The advantage of Zoom is that we've been able to obviously carry on at a time where we couldn't meet together. The disadvantage to Zoom is that Walter and I have seen each other almost every day for the last few weeks because everybody spreads out their meetings. They think, well, we don't have to jam it into 4 days. Let's do ours next Tuesday at 9 o'clock and let's do ours next whenever. We've had meetings with all of the area policymakers and things that we could, but they've all been on different days where if we'd have been on the Hill in Sacramento, we could have gone one after another while we were in the Capitol building. So our meetings started about almost a month ago now, and we're still doing a Hill visit with ISA, as Walter said, next week. So they've gone for an entire month, and we keep having one about every other, seems like about every day or every other day we meet with one or another. It's good. We get our feelings known and our positions heard, but it sure takes a long time to deliver it. At the CAR meetings, I still serve with the Housing Affordability Committee. We did give out one $50,000 grant. As everything else, the grants have slowed down, or the requests for grants have slowed down because people don't know what to do in their areas to get housing off the affordability issues. But we're not collecting as much money as we used to, as you might expect as well, because we're not together. We don't have a chance to trap our other agents in the hall and things like that. So we're not getting as much money along the way. So it's probably a good thing, but we are doing a little bit towards that. Our next golf tournament, some of that money is going towards our share of the housing affordability thing, SRCAR share. But risk management committee, you know, I just thought this was interesting, and this isn't necessarily a voting item, but I just thought it was interesting to talk about for a second. And that is that, you know, the risk management, it's been all over the board for the last years. Different ways to avoid it, all the different things that go into it. But you know that this shouldn't surprise any of you that with Zooms and with everything happening on the computer and so many things happening not in person, where it's very difficult to have private meetings and everything else, that cybercrime has taken off. And I don't mean a little bit, I mean taken off. From 2016 to 2020, there were just shy of 2 million cyber crimes that were found out. And the estimated loss due to those was $13.3 billion. And that's from 2016 to 2020. The last quarter of 2020 and the first quarter of 2021, there were 791,790, 2,169 cases per day, for a total of 4.2 billion. In just in the last 6 months, it's gone to 4.2 billion, and it took 6 or 5 years to get to 13 billion before. So we're well on our way. The top 7, as you might expect, is compromised emails. I thought it was interesting that one of the top 7 was confidence through romance. You know, it's like, I'll meet you at the river and bring your bank account. But anyway, we fall for things on that. Investments was right up there. Identity theft, that was number 4. Spoofing. And then, as you would think, real estate and rental fraud were up there in the top. People selling things online, renting things online, renting things, getting a deposit via a cashier's check or whatever, and I'll mail you the key, and the house happens to be occupied by somebody else, or it happens to be vacant and for sale. Anyway, a lot of stuff happening on the internet as a result. It's another one of the negatives of all of the internet time we're having to do. It's a lot easier for the hackers to pick up on things when there's a lot more of us online all the time. I'm not encouraging you to be online or to be offline, because that's where everything seems to happen. But pay attention to all of those things. I know you guys are smart enough to do that. But anyway, that was a biggie. There were, on top of that, there were 3,950 in this last 6 months, first 2 quarters. Or last quarter last year, first quarter this year, there were 3,950 confirmed large company breaches. So almost 4,000 large companies around the United States have been breached. You know, you hear some of them, the Costco thing, the Target thing, and you know, if you have your cards there and all that kind of stuff. We got, I got a replacement. My wife and I got replacement credit cards yesterday, as a matter of fact. It said in the replacement, there was a little note in there that said that these were the scanning type, you know, that you could just touch against it and stuff. But then it also had a little disclaimer in there that said that it's also, that makes it easier for those people that have the little gizmos that can walk pretty close to you to pull your ID numbers and stuff right out of your purse. And so it's, you know, it's blowing up. But anyway, so that's fun. Let's see. Some of the issues that we're facing, and this is nationwide, okay, so this isn't anything, but we're certainly feeling it in California. Some of the issues that we're having with the market right now as a result of low inventories and things, and that, by the way, is going on nationwide. Buyers fatigue is happening. You know, there are buyers that are sitting back now. They don't even want to go out and look anymore because they've written so many offers and they've gotten beat out so many times. They're hesitant to even go do anything. Agents expanding their market. We've certainly seen that. We've seen that for a long time here in Hemet, actually, where people, if they couldn't find something in San Diego to sell, they'd move towards Hemet or San Jacinto or something where they could get a lot more house for a lot less money. But that's happening more than it ever has. We've got sellers trying to break contracts because they see so many contracts coming in and they just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. And then they hear that somebody down the street sold one for an extra $20,000 and that little greed thing sets in. Clear cooperation and coming soon has been a big issue. They fought about that in the committee for a long time. I don't know how to get around it. They're trying to do some things to readjust the current rules for clear cooperation. You know what clear cooperation just means? That we want to give everybody a chance to see the property. And coming soon almost does the exact opposite of that, because coming soon almost puts it in a place where only you and your best friends get to see the property. And so they're trying to, well, I say they, but I guess we are trying to come up with some, through the MLSs, we're trying to come up with some alterations to that might make it easier. And one of the other big problems, and I hope we're not any of these, but slow responses by agents. You know, that always is a little bit of an issue, but as things tighten up, we hear less and less from the people because they've got so many offers on the table. They don't want to talk to us, or who knows what it is. It's like, please give me showing time. You know, I've heard that by so many people. Some people don't want it. Others want it because it saves me having to answer the phone all the times. And then one of the big things that's hitting right now, which I'm sure you're seeing in things, but it's hitting nationwide, is escalation clauses, where people will say, I will give you $2,500 over your highest offer. And they're trying to figure out legally how to put that into a form where everybody's notified when that kind of thing happens. I don't know when that'll come about or if it'll come about. Maybe the market will slow down before they can come out with any kind of a form. But everybody's waiving all contingencies. The legal people told us to be careful about everybody waiving contingencies because they said that they're probably still going to win in court. Even if they waive all their contingencies up front and go to bat, it still says in the contract that they are buying a property as is, but they have the right to know what as is. And so if they find out things, that there's still a good chance that they can fight their way out of that. So don't make that, don't make your clients think that that's an absolute. And anyway, let's see. Walter talked about a couple of those things. That's good. I expected he would. Implicit bias. I know Walter mentioned that. That's going to be that actually you can get on the NAR website right now, or at least after I get done talking. And you'll find there's an implicit bias training in there that talks about fair housing and all those kind of things. There's also on the NAR website, there's a thing called Fair Haven. you go to NAR and then you type in the search. You can type in Fairhaven, just like it sounds, FAIR, HAVEN. And it's kind of a, it's kind of a little play. 4 scenarios set up of what you might not think of as being discriminatory on a regular basis. It's not the real obvious discrimination type things. It's kind of those that run along the edges of it a little bit, just to make you think of other things that might be a discrimination issue. And anyway, it takes you about an hour. So if you got an hour that you don't have anything to do and you're sitting at your desk and normally you'd be looking at Facebook, you might get onto the Fairhaven website and go through and take that. Let's see. Oh, this vote will make everybody happy. We voted to leave the dues where they are. So you won't have a dues increase going through this year or into next. They do expect to drop from 1.48 million members to 1.43. So yeah, down 3 or 4% or something. They're expecting to have a little bit of a drop off when dues comes around in December and January and things. Our reserves are fat though, so we're in pretty good shape. Membership has continued to climb through these years that we haven't had to spend very much. And when you think of all of the people that work for NAR, for staff and everything else, and the travel that's involved in a normal basis and things, and sending, I don't know, 100 people to NAR or whatever it is. Now, actually, they reimburse us, so they probably spend, I don't even know, but they probably send 1,000 people to Washington, D.C. when we have those meetings and things. And so significant expense has been saved, and so our reserves are moving up. They're going to do a couple of augmentations to this year's budget. One of them has to do with membership, program funding for members. They're looking into a lot of new things, fair housing, of course, being one of them, but others. And then an adjustment to the disaster relief fund that we have out there, so that when people start running into the floods and the fires and all the things that undoubtedly will come, that we will have some money that we can help out a little bit with. In property valuation committee, there were a couple of things that were discussed. One is that we're going to push hard to try to get appraisal bifurcation. You know, the way an appraisal works right now, your appraiser comes out, I don't have to tell you, they come out, they look at the house, they come up with an opinion of value, and they move forward. And there's been, as you might expect, with prices going up and down and around and 20,000 over and 40,000 over and whatever it happens to be, appraisals are just, they're just spinning, their heads are spinning with, with all of the different price changes. I heard a definition for market value, which I thought was interesting. Market value, it used to be George could sit down and say your market value is, $326,000.07 or something. I know him to be that accurate. But anyway, the new definition now of market value seems to be the collective behaviors of all individuals involved in a transaction. And that seems like kind of a wide thing. But golly, that's what it is. I want $400,000 out of my house. Well, you really want that? Even if the guy's willing to pay $440 and they're willing to appraise it at $430, you still want $4. And so it becomes a collective endeavor to come up with a market value. And comps don't change in the eyes of an appraiser. Comps don't change as often as that latest value that comes in. Most of the time they're throwing out a high and a low if they have enough properties to go by. So the fact that you've got a $600,000 offer on a $525,000 house does not make the entire market worth $600,000 now. They are still looking more in the middle price-wise for those. So think of that when you're comping houses and when you're accepting offers and all that. You can let people know that that's probably, I mean, you guys know where the prices are going to come in, even with all the screwing around that's going on nowadays. You know, we're going to cover most of the rest of this stuff, some of the other things, the legislative meetings and things. I appreciate your time. We do work hard for you at CAR and NAR, whether you know it or not. I know that you just think that Walter and I go on vacation every few months or something like that, but but we spend a lot of time in meetings. We spend a lot of time talking with a lot of people, and we're glad to do it for you, and we're glad to provide any information we can. I know that when we try to wrap in 2 weeks into 7 minutes that Sylvia gives us, you know, it's kind of hard. But I hope it gave you a little bit of information, and I hope that if nothing else, it'll provoke some questions. Feel free to get a hold of either of us, and we'll be glad to go over what we know. I'm done.
Thank you, Terry. That was very nice. You're a great president.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got wants, needs, and price changes. So committee updates. Is there anybody here from there?
I'm here for property management.
Okay.
I just wanted to invite everyone to the police officer panel on June 9th at 10 a.m. It's from 10 to 12. We're going to have PD from Temecula, Marietta, Hemet, and Riverside County Sheriff. And I'll put the link on the chat. It's free to attend, and it's via Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. I could go down everybody's names, but if they're here.
I've got, Nikki's got an office meeting this morning. This is Jeremy. I'm going to come in with an affiliate announcement. We are super excited for all of us to be able to get back in. Affiliates are happy to be able to sponsor breakfast and things like that for you guys at the live meetings now. And then also, I just want you guys to get on your schedule that we're going to do our SRCAR Bowling for Scholarships again. We're finally able to get that going on Wednesday, September 15th. That's going to be from 3 to 5:30 p.m. at the Bolero Marietta, the one that's off of Cal Oaks Road.
That's exciting.
So look forward to seeing some more announcements on that. Wendy put together a really great flyer for us. So that is it.
Thanks, Nikki. Just kidding. Thanks, Jeremy.
And Janice is not here, but if you want to save the date, mark your calendars for June 23rd. We're having a home ownership cultural exchange panel, and it'll be at 10:30 via Zoom, and it's free to attend.
Thank you very much. Nobody else?
Would you mind, Walter or Sylvia or somebody, would you mind hitting that legislative meeting again? Date and time and everything.
I can put it on the chat.
Thanks.
Okay, is that it for committee updates? Well, thank you very much. Education and upcoming events. Do we have the education committee, right? The education committee is at 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, the education committee meeting, yes, at 11 o'clock. Tomorrow, the Menifee networking and property preview has been canceled. At 10 a.m., there's a Learn All About Advanced Features with Lone Wolf Transaction, zip form edition. 12 p.m. is the Marietta Temecula networking and property review. Friday the 4th, there's an orientation via Zoom. At 9 a.m., there's Legal Issues GRE Course 105, Learn My Way. At 1:30 p.m., there's the Top Producers Indie Style. Monday the 7th is the Board of Directors at 8:30 a.m. in the Grand Hall in Marietta. Tuesday, June 8th is Pricing Strategy, Pricing Strategy Advisor. Very difficult for me to say at this time. CERT with NAR. 10 a.m. is the Ledge Committee meeting. 1:30 p.m. is the MLS operations meeting. 2 p.m. is the SRCAR Hemet Events Committee. Wednesday, June 9th is the new RPR, Start Here to Boost Your Business. 10 a.m. is negotiation basics for realtors. And I can't read the bottom one. I apologize.
That's the Property Management Task Force at 10 a.m.
Okay. And thank you very much. Town crier. So let's see here. So please submit. Oh, that's it. We don't have anything. We don't have anything on. There we go. Please submit town criers to SRCAR.org under the MLS town crier by 3 p.m. the day before the MLS marketing meeting.
George, I have one thing before we adjourn.
Okay.
The board of directors, the voting is going to be coming up real soon. I think it's on the 15th of this month is the candidates forum in Marietta. It'll be live, be their first live. So tune into that one also for the candidates that'll be running for your board of directors. And I think the voting starts on the 22nd, I believe. It's open for like 2 or 3 weeks, I believe.
Perfect.
So look at the board of directors, pass it on to everybody so everybody can see who's running for the board. That's it.
Thank you, Walter.
It'll be on June 22nd in the Marietta meeting, and it'll be live in person.
Nice.
Did you get that date for the ledge meeting, Terry? That was Tuesday, June the 8th.
Got it.
Okay, everyone. I think if there's nothing else, is there anything else, Sylvia?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you, everybody. We are adjourned. Please have a nice week.
See you on June 16th in person.
Yay, can't wait for that one.
I won't be there,
Have a
but
blessed
we'll
day.
see you.
You're gonna be
Yeah,
out there
have a great week.
Bye, everybody. Be safe out there.
Join us tomorrow on Zoom for Marietta's meeting too.
Sports Rock.
Okay, have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, Tiffany. Thank you.
Bye, Sylvia. Thank you.
Bye, Danny.